Hello everybody, my name is Suman Dua. I'm a registered migration agent based in Brisbane, Australia. As many of you would have started your research about where you're going to study in 2021, I would encourage you to watch this video before you make a decision on which campus and university that you will choose to study in 2021. You may want to look at studying in a regional area in Australia in 2021, as there are many benefits of studying in a regional area. So any areas outside Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne are considered regional areas by the Department of Home Affairs. So the definition of designated regional areas was changed on 16th November 2019, and many highly populated areas were also considered regional in that definition. As you also want to work in Australia once you finish your studies and you get your 485 visa, you may also want to look at these states where there are many job opportunities available, especially in the field of study that you're going to take next year. Before you pick a state, you may want to check the job opportunities that will be available in your occupation once you finish your studies, because once you go on your work visa, which is the 485 visa, you will have full-time work rights and you may need some work experience as well to either get nominated by the state or to get your skills assessment. So it is very important that you choose the state very carefully when you start your studies in 2021. So I will talk about my recommended states in a little bit, but first I will talk about the benefits of studying in a regional area. The first benefit is that you will gain 5 points towards your permanent residency application if you have studied in a regional area. So to successfully claim these 5 points, you need to study 2 years CRICOS registered course, which is 92 weeks of study in a regional campus, and you also have to live in a designated regional area for those 2 years in order to claim those 5 points. The second benefit is that if you are an international graduate who has studied in a regional campus, then you will gain 1 year or 2 years extra on your work visa, which is the 485 visa, after your studies. So it will depend on which postcode you study in to be eligible for either 1 year or 2 years of extra 485 visa, and also you need to have studied a higher education in a regional campus to get that extra 1 year or 2 years on your visa. So what I have done is I've created a fact sheet which you can download for free at the end of this video. So the fact sheet has also got all the designated regional postcodes. So if you're not sure if your campus falls under a regional area or not, you may want to refer to my fact sheet. The third benefit is that if in the future you're planning to lodge a subclass 491 visa, which is the provisional regional visa with a pathway to permanent residency, you usually get invited for that visa with very low points, and you have access to more number of occupations for that visa. So we made a video recently about the 491 visa and the pathway to permanent residency, which is the subclass 191 visa. I will put the link in the description. The fourth benefit is that if you're in a state that really supports their international students, and if you are living in a regional area, studying in a regional area, then you may get invited for the 491 visa with as low as 50 points. To understand the point system in Australia, you may want to watch one of my other videos. I will put the link in the description. Before you choose a state to study in 2021, you also may want to do some research on how that state has supported their international students in the past. The other thing that you need to do research on is how many job opportunities are available in the field that you are studying in that particular state. So you may want to go to www.seek.com.au and pick the state that you're choosing to study, and pick the occupation that you will be looking a job in, which is related to your studies, and see how many jobs come up. Because the whole point of studying in Australia is that you also want to get some practical skills with you before you leave Australia, or even if you wish to stay in Australia after that. This will give you an idea how many jobs are available in your field of study. So what I've done is I've actually put together a sheet where I have put the total number of invites that were given by each state in last financial year. So this will give you an idea that how many seats are available in each state when it comes to skilled migration. So on the sheet you can see that New South Wales, South Australia and Victoria have given the highest number of nominations last year. But if you will also look at Northern Territory and Tasmania, they have also given a good number of nominations considering that they are smaller states. Also keep in mind that bigger states like New South Wales, South Australia and Victoria usually have higher requirements from their international students to get their nomination. So they may look for higher points, they may also ask for work experience or a job offer letter, whereas smaller states like Northern Territory and Tasmania, they usually have less requirements. So usually if you have studied in that state, usually that is enough for you to get their nomination. So you can actually download my free guide that I've created for international students. I will put the link in the description. So in that guide, you can actually go to each state's website and see their requirements for their international students. If you're planning to study in 2021, then there are a few states that I do recommend that you look at. So the first one I've got is South Australia. So South Australia is biggest state when it comes to state nominations, especially for the 491 visa. Also, they have always supported their international students by giving various waivers to them. Also note, all of South Australia is regional, so it doesn't matter which campus you study in South Australia, you will be able to claim 5 points towards your regional study. You will also get extra 1 year or 2 years on your 485 visa once you have studied in South Australia. South Australia is also one of the states which has got an extensive occupation list. So usually most of the occupations are available for South Australian international graduates. Another state you may want to consider is regional area of New South Wales. So the regional area of New South Wales has got a lot of universities and a lot of courses are available there. Also, New South Wales has been one of the biggest states as well, who has invited a lot of applicants for 190 and 491 visa. So for the 491 visa, they usually have an extensive occupation list as well, and you can choose your occupation from their list, and they have waivers for their international graduates as well. Another reason that I do recommend studying in regional New South Wales is because of the various job opportunities that are available there. So New South Wales is a very big state in Australia, and many of the head offices and jobs are available in the regional areas of New South Wales as well. So once you have finished your studies in regional New South Wales, I don't think you'll have a lot of issues finding a job in a regional area. You may also want to look at Tasmania if you wish to study in 2021, only because they have very minimum requirements when it comes to their international graduates. So as long as you have studied there for 2 years and meet their minimum requirements, they usually nominate their students. Queensland is also a good state, especially if you are planning to study masters or PhD, because Queensland has always supported their PhD graduates and they have always had a larger list for their masters graduates. At last, I would like to mention that skilled migration has been a very important part of the migration program in Australia, and the numbers that have been reduced in the recent federal budget are temporarily only. So by the time the students who are planning to come next year will graduate, things will be back to normal and skilled migration's number will be set back to normal as well. If you are somebody who needs guidance with choosing the right state, right university and the right course, you may wish to book a consultation with me through the link in the description. I'm available to have a chat to you either over the phone, through Zoom session or face-to-face in a Brisbane office. To stay updated about Australia's immigration, make sure that you subscribe to our channel.